Welcome, my cucumber palaces, to another episode of Bloons TV Battles. Today we're going to be BTD sciencing something really weird that I found. So check this out. We're going to send out a crap ton of regen rainbows against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nuclear subs. Obviously we're going to pop all these guys, right? No? We're not going to pop all of them? Whoa, we're going to lose to a regen rainbow rush? Now keep in mind, this is not a speed battle. This is just a regular battle, and 6 nuclear subs cannot pop a regen rainbow rush. What is going on here? Now this is even more complicated than a lot of people are probably going to recognize. Now a lot of people probably know that if you overlap nuclear subs, they don't do extra grouped popping power. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show this, and I'm going to prove it in today's video, but I'm actually going to go a little bit further with that. Because, as you can tell, we just lost to a regen rainbow rush, and that should not be happening. So there's a lot going on with the nuclear sub. It's a complicated tower, it's sort of goofy, it seems like it makes sense until you actually get down to the nitty-gritty and try and decipher what the heck is going on when it's popping balloons. So, what I got over here is I got my friend Super Chicken helping me out for this video, so thank you Super Chicken for, making, he's actually going to make a couple science videos with me over here, so thank you very much for helping me out. He also helped me out in understanding why the sub was actually doing these sort of wonky things as well. So what we did was we tried to get the nuclear sub in a very similar spot. I think mine ended up being in a slightly worse spot than his. As goofy as that sounds, I know they look so gosh darn identical, but mine ended up being in a sort of slightly goofier spot than his, so it's not going to be quite as efficient, but that shouldn't matter that much for our test today. It's just kind of something that I want to note before people start complaining about everything. So, nuclear subs, we got to talk about these guys. How the heck do they work? Well, against red balloons and blue balloons, as you can tell, what's happening is, as the balloons kind of go inside the radius, there's like a slight cooldown. I don't know if cooldown is the exact right word to use, but we're going to say cooldown today. There's a slight cooldown before the balloon actually starts to get popped. And it seems like it's probably right around the same cooldown to pop to the next layer. So it's not like they instantaneously get popped right when they go inside of this nuclear sub. It takes, you know, maybe an eighth of a second or something like that. So, we want to test out against something a little bit faster. So we're going to try some pink balloons and see how far they actually get inside of this nuclear sub over here. And they don't make it all the way through, and they are going to pop all of these balloons. So, as you can tell, we can pop non-stop reds, blues, greens, blacks, whites, but then there's actually a balloon that it cannot pop, even on level 8, in a very good spot like this. There are some maps where you're not going to be able to sneak any regen white through, but on this level there are some regen white problems with that. That's not even that important, but I just wanted to mention really quick just for helpful tips later on. But I think the main thing that I want to talk about is how subs have infinite popping power. And this is sort of a goofy thing to think about, because a lot of people are like, what the heck does that mean? You know, if a Oh My God walks through a nuclear sub, is it going to get popped? It has infinite popping power. Why isn't it popping this thing? Well, it's because it's a little bit different than what I mean. If you send a Oh My God, it's going to walk right through. Moab's going to walk right through. Ceramic, it's just going to walk right through your defense. So, what do I mean by infinite popping power? Well, what I mean is if there was, for example, a million green balloons grouped on top of each other, were very tightly packed together, and they were walking through trying to get through this nuclear sub, would the sub run out of popping power? No, it wouldn't. It would just go pop, 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 kill them all at once. So, like, if you have a certain low amount of balloons on the screen, it's going to pop them all, no problem. If the game didn't crash, of course, if there wasn't extreme lag or something like that. So that's another thing that's sort of interesting to know. So it doesn't matter how many balloons we send out. If I send out 1 regen rainbow or 1 trillion regen rainbows, they should all get popped in a similar fashion. So as you can tell, we are finally leaking some balloons. Some regen whites leak through on my side, but no regen whites leak through on his side. So I'm not sure if it has something to do with my location was just a little bit too low or a little bit too high. I'm not really sure exactly what was going on, but you can tell there was some slight issues going on there. Now, we got lead balloons. Very similar things going on both of these sides. Both of us leaked just a few balloons. His does like slightly better, but like not even you know, all that much. Both gonna end up leaking some balloons. So what I want to do here, guys, is I want to test out some double sub action. So again, just to repeat really quick, subs don't overlap. So when you have, if I put 2 nuclear subs like right next to each other, they would do nothing. But I like to space them out. So all that green area that's doubly green, kind of like a Venn diagram in the middle, all that doesn't do any extra popping power, it's just sort of wasted. So you don't want to overlap your subs as much as possible, but of course they're circles, so you don't want to leave them completely open either. So anyways, we're going to send out a gigantic Regen Rainbow Rush, but we popped them all. Okay. Well, what's going on here, man? Well, we realized that they didn't pop them all when we put down 6 subs, so what the heck is happening here? Well, our best guess is that what's actually happening here is that every single time that they go inside of a new nuclear sub's range, it's restarting that cooldown period. So actually adding too many nuclear subs is actually a bad thing, because it keeps resetting that cooldown, and then that allows us to lose to a gigantic Regen Rainbow Rush. So hopefully this was pretty interesting for you guys. Hopefully it was a little bit eye-opening, making sure that you don't waste all your money on a million nuclear subs, because obviously that doesn't help. It actually hurts. It doesn't just not help, it actually hurts your ability to survive, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. So that's all I have for you guys today. If this was a sort of fun and cool video, make sure you press that like button for me. I'd appreciate it a bunch, and obviously have a super duper delicious day.